Hey everyone, it is Gilst. Postgame talk as K-State picks up an 85-57 win over Oklahoma State. It's now back-to-back wins inside of Bramlage Coliseum. The first time K-State's had technically a winning streak since early December. So it's been a while, but better late than never for this team to start playing its best basketball of the year. And real quick, as always, leave a like, leave a comment, all that good stuff helps feed the algorithm. And also check out, everything that we have to offer over on GoPowercat.com as well. Plenty of written stuff over there for our VIP subscribers, and also there's a good amount of free stuff that you can read as well on the website. But Kansas State from start to finish against West Virginia on Saturday dominated. From start to finish tonight here against Oklahoma State dominated. Did it take a little bit too long for this team to start clicking and playing like this? 100%, absolutely. This team is still sub 500 on the year, but we're seeing why Jerome Tang refused to hit the panic button. We're seeing why Jerome Tang remains so confident in this team despite the ugly times, despite the 6-game losing streak. He knew that this team was getting close, and now here we are. We see it. West Virginia is an NCAA tournament team. Now I get it. Oklahoma State is not. Oklahoma State pretty much ranks as the worst team in this conference, but West Virginia, that's a quality win. That's going to go. I don't know if it'll go a long way in March because this team has a lot of work still to do to even be in that discussion. But if K-State is alive, that's a big time West Virginia win. Oklahoma State, say what you want about that team, but Kansas State dominated. Dominated from start to finish here against the Cowboys. And I posted this out on X. This is what you see when Kansas State is fully bought in, when the energy level is high, when the effort is not in question. This is what you see, 85-57. This is it. When Kansas State's not bought in, when Coleman Hawkins is talking about guys not being focused and not going through warm-ups and walkthroughs and coming out of the locker room with the right energy. This is what Coleman Hawkins mentioned after the Oklahoma State loss. You lose by double digits. When that's the case, when all of that stuff isn't at its highest level, you lose by double digits to the worst team in the Big 12. You do. When you play like this, when you're bought in, you win by, I'm not good at math, you win by a lot. Is that what, 28 points K-State won this game by? This is what you get. When this talented team, nobody questioned the talent, the athleticism, the length, the versatility on this team. Nobody ever once questioned that. In Jerome Tang's words, at times it was the buy-in. And when you get it, here's what you got. You got a team that dominates its opponents. And, Kansas State fell short against Baylor. Couldn't execute down the stretch late. Avoids a slow start in Lawrence. Maybe you win against KU. Texas Tech, you have a late game collapse. But, Kansas State was taking strides in that losing streak. But ever since Scott Drew, went into K-State's locker room in Waco, here we are. This team is playing at a very high level, and there is a lot of work. There is tons of work to do moving forward in Big 12 play. But if Kansas State plays like this, it's going to have a chance against Iowa State. I'm not calling the upset. I'm not saying that K-State can get it done because that is a darn good Iowa State team. But if Kansas State plays like this, they're going to have a chance in most nights here in the Big 12. Now, the problem, of course, is the deep hole that the Wildcats have kind of dug themselves in with a poor non-conference and 1-6 start to Big 12 play. That's a very, very, very steep uphill battle, but Kansas State's playing well. I could kind of break down this game, but you see the final score. Anybody that watched it knows that this was just a total, I hate to keep saying it, but a dominant performance from Kansas State. You had 4 guys in double figures. Moby had a career high, or a K-State high, 8 points, and thanks to 3 dunks, he was providing some real good energy off the bench for Kansas State. Jerome Tang had a lot of good things to say about Moby when I asked about Moby in the postgame. I don't know how I'm going to find a negative. I do what I like and what I didn't like on GoPowercat in a written piece after every game, and There's going to be a lot of stuff to write about in terms of what I liked and what I didn't like. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find a single thing. We'll see if we just leave that blank. But, Kansas State heads up to Ames, like I said, on Saturday. And that's going to be a step up in competition from what we saw tonight. So Kansas State, this is kind of what I said after the West Virginia win. Kansas State could not get complacent. Kansas State had to stay hungry. In practice leading up to this game. Clearly, you look at the final score, Kansas State did. And, same thing moving forward. Kansas State has to lock in. They've got a really good opponent coming up on Saturday. K-State heads up to Ames to face Iowa State. But here tonight, Kansas State, after probably its best win of the year against West Virginia, follows it up with an even more impressive win over Oklahoma State.